Naptown. In this episode, we'll talk about the election of Alderman Dewan Gay, nomination of the new public safety team, highlights of Ward 2, and upcoming events to keep you busy this summer. On July 2nd, Ward 6 residents elected Dewan Gay as the next alderman for a district that begins in Eastport west of President Street, tracks along Tyler Avenue, and ends in the Robinwood community on the south side of Forest Drive. Alderman Gay is the youngest member of the Annapolis City Council, a perspective that Mayor Gavin Buckley welcomes. He has long been an advocate for his community and is ready to get to work for his constituents.
I'm really excited to be on this new adventure, and I look forward to learning more of the process and working with the alderpersons on the dais with me. And so I think the really cool thing about me being elected and being so young is that I bring a different perspective to the council, which is unique in bringing in technology and some of the things that other cities have grasped and done so well at, and that we can do to make our city better, a more livable place. Congratulations to Alderman Gay and the residents of Ward 6. If you have constituent concerns, send him an email. In early July, Pastor Cheryl Menendez approached the city with an offer of 9,000 pounds of food to give away. There were fresh fruits and vegetables, whole chickens, ground turkey, and more. The city was able to offer 2 rooms at Pip Moyer Recreation Center and within a few hours opened the doors to a free food pantry. This was for anyone who felt they needed food to feed their families. It's important in an area where 1 in 10 are food insecure.
We're excited about the turnout that we had today and the ability to feed families and children. Have served actually 400 and some actual family members with about 119, 120 families per se. No one group is a panacea. We can't do it by ourselves. We have to have the community, and we're so grateful that Annapolis has become a part of that community.
In early June, the Annapolis community lost a local musician and performer whose star was on the rise. We got London on the track. I'm about to run up a big one. Montre Edward Trey to Kid Say was shot in his car on Forest Drive. To honor his legacy, Future History Now founder and local artist Jeff Huntington, along with Dee Ward of Black Wall Street and Thomas L. Brown, also known as Cell Spitfire, a close friend of Trey to Kid, have been working with local artists and kids in the community.
One of the great things about putting the mural of Trey to Kid down at the Robinwood Community Center was it was actually a seed that Trey had planted before his passing. Trey was very interested in giving back to the community in some type of way. So he thought of implementing a studio in one of the Housing Authority projects and getting them experience with recording and the music business. So when the news of Trey broke, the people that were collaborating with him decided that it would only be right to cement his legacy and put up a mural for him in that location.
I think the importance of these murals is to show the children that, it doesn't matter if you come from one of the roughest communities in Annapolis or one of the richest and wealthiest communities in Annapolis. It's about bringing the city together and then having the youth involved to give them something to look forward to, something to really show them that, there's things outside of the environment that represent you and something you can be proud of.
No matter your circumstances or where you come from, you can be successful if you put your mind to it. So for something so tragic like this to shock the city, it's only right that we give every bit and ounce of love that we have into this project, and that's what we're going to get out of it, is love from everybody else.
You can see the mural in the Robinwood Community Center and along Forest Drive at the scene where Trey to Kid was killed. I put my city on my back, then put my city on the map. With gun violence being such a prevalent issue in our city, Mayor Buckley was pleased to introduce his nominees for the city's public safety team to the City Council. They are Edward Jackson for Police Chief, Doug Ramalley for Fire, and Kevin Simmons for Director of the Office of Emergency Management. Here's Police Chief nominee Jackson to talk about his philosophy of policing.
Of course, the nature of policing is to apprehend people who have committed crimes, it's particularly serious crimes. We can't have murderers and rapists and child abusers running the streets, but we can work with people who have problems and help them solve problems, because when you deal with social problems effectively, it makes our job easier and it makes the city safer. And so I hope that I can bring to the table that type of philosophy, that type of problem-oriented policing philosophy, wherein we work with residents to solve problems as opposed to occupy the neighborhoods. That's the last thing I want to do. And so the days when we operate as a paramilitary organization are over with. The public demands more of its officers. They demand that officers understand the communities that they're in.
In our continuing Reimagining City Doc series with Historic Annapolis, Maryland Hall hosted Dr. Tim Chapin, who talked about autonomous vehicles. It was a great presentation as we head into our work on the 2020 Comprehensive Plan. Dr. Chapin made us all think about how we might be getting around in another 30 or 40 years.
And what I'm struck by, not just in this room tonight, is a committed community to making an Annapolis that is beneficial for all, that is beneficial not just for the economy, but for the people that live here. Thinking about the idea is a world in which there are no stoplights, that the vehicles are all speaking to each other and traffic just flows and the cars all talk to each other in real time. And this is wonderful for our mobility if you're in the car. But I was at a presentation where it was a traffic engineer said, "Look at this future, isn't this amazing?" And I said, "Look at that future, isn't that horrible?" Because our cities are not for cars, our cities are for people. Our places are not for the devices that get us around. Our places are for us as human beings, right? I think that's what it's about.
He doesn't have a crystal ball, but he talked about the direction of investments among automakers and technology companies who are putting their money toward a future that looks very different. In mid-July, Mayor Buckley and County Executive Stuart Pittman dedicated the Mike Bush Pavilion in honor of the late speaker. This is the first of many memorials and tributes. We bet Speaker Bush was looking down and enjoying everyone dancing in the park on a Friday afternoon. Check it out at Whitmore Park at the corner of Clay and Calvert Streets. Speaking of Clay Street, this week we are taking a close-up look at Ward 2, which starts at Calvert Street and runs northwest to Weems Creek. It includes West Annapolis, the West Street Corridor, the Poplar Trail, and surrounding neighborhoods around Navy Memorial Stadium. Here's Alderman Fred Paone to talk about the place he represents on the City Council.
Hi everybody, welcome to Ward 2. I'm Alderman Fred Paone. I'm the alderman here in Ward 2. Ward 2 is the largest ward geographically in the city, and it's the ward that people enter into when they come down Row Boulevard into our beautiful city. It consists of the communities of Wardour, West Annapolis, Germantown, Homewood, Admiral Heights, the Taylor Avenue corridor, and the Old Fourth Ward. It's predominantly residential. It's a great place to raise your family. We have a number of features here in Ward 2. We have plenty of parks, lots to do. It is home of the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, which is the home to our midshipmen. Go Navy. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to raise a family. We're very proud of things that are going on in Ward 2. Welcome and enjoy.
Check out the new Four Rivers Heritage Trail for a digital map of some of the great historic sites around Ward 2. The trail and story map was unveiled recently, highlighting 80 Annapolis African American history sites. You can visit them in person and then call up the curated information about them on your smartphone at aacounty.org/African American Heritage. Specifically in the Old Fourth Ward, there are 18 sites designated. Some are gone, but others, like the Stanton School, founded after the Civil War by the Freedmen's Bureau, is today a community center. Let's look at what is happening in the city. The Chambers Park concert series is ongoing with August 9th with Remington and August 23rd with Legends. These are every other Friday until October 11th. On Tuesday, July 30th, the U.S. Naval Academy Summer Concert Series continues with the final concert of the summer. Get your mallets ready for the annual Rotary Crab Feast at Navy Stadium on August 2nd. Advance tickets for all you can eat are $70 for adults, $25 for children 3 to 12. It's not only the world's largest crab feast, but a major fundraiser that benefits local community and cultural organizations. Hey, Downward Dogs! Yoga Festival's coming August 3rd. To start, a 7 a.m. HIIT class, an 8 a.m. Vinyasa, 9 a.m. Rocket, 10:30 Vinyasa, noon Yin, and by 1 o'clock, When the sun is high in the sky and the air is hot, it'll be just the right time for a Bikram-style yoga class with music. Namaste! National Night Out 2019 is August 6th. We currently have 4 events confirmed, and officers, K-9 teams, and our Annapolis Police Community Relations team will visit each event. Annapolis Gardens, Bay Ridge Gardens, Greater Parole, Chambers Park, and Obery Court. On August 24th, our Washington Capitals hockey team, the 2018 Stanley Cup winners, will partner with Annapolis Professional Firefighters Local 1926 to bring a block party to City Dock. It's the 44th year for the Annapolis 10-miler, a foot race that takes runners and joggers through the historic district and over the Severn River. The race has been listed as one of the top 10 10-mile races in the country by Runner's World magazine. We have ongoing Tides and Tudens concerts, City Dock concerts, upcoming City Dock movie nights, and don't forget Dinner Under the Stars every Wednesday on West Street. Our next Hey Naptown will be after Labor Day. Have a great August.